I'm here to introduce a short insight into the levity and the history of this blessed sister and sister Tegesta, a long-time Rasta activist originally from Jamaica. But I'm not going to say too much. I want to introduce the sister to you all to begin to share some of that history with you. Greetings, Sister Tegesta.
Greetings, my brethren.
Blessed Lord.
And first I'd like to give thanks and praise for the day. Give thanks and praise, Mm-hmm. And it's a pleasure to be here in front of an audience, sharing with you some of my lifestyle, the life that I've lived, that I've lived with His Imperial Majesty as guidance, and Empress Menen, comforting me and teaching me and showing me the way. I give thanks and praise for this opportunity to share with you.
Blessed. And tell us a little bit about your background, where you originate from, which island in the Caribbean, and a little bit about how you came into the faith of Rastafari.
Well, I'm definitely, I'm a Kingstonian. Mm-hmm. I come from Jamaica. My family originates from St. Mary, mm-hmm. which I do know St. Mary a little bit, because during this September school holidays, my mum would send me down to stay with my aunt who lived in St. Mary. Coffee Peace. Mm-hmm. In Coffee Peace. But we lived in Barbican in Barbican in town. Mm-hmm. So this is how I live. So I've learned a little bit of the country life of Jamaica, mm-hmm. and I love town life. Mm-hmm. Literally love town life. Because in the town you had to fend for yourself. Mm. I was one of these little girls that sell mango. Mm-hmm. People mango, because town you don't have no mango, mm-hmm. mango tree. Mm-hmm. So I sell people mango. Mm-hmm. And when my dad come from Manchester, mm-hmm. he used to bring 3 big back full of food. So things they there for sell for me too. So while everybody getting miss this, miss that, and Mr. Brown and that, Merlin getting fair little cut. Because I'm definitely, right. Which you take out some of the top nutmeg and that. So I've always, learned to fend for myself from Jamaica.
So you kind of grew up in St. Mary and then come to Kingston, or?
No, my mom left it. Well, my mom mixed with, I'm half Indian. Mm-hmm. My mom's Indian. Mm-hmm. And my mom mixed with, I'm not being prejudiced, but my mom's the only one who mixed with Negro.
Okay, that's
so when my mom mixed with Negro, mm-hmm. she was like a outcast from her family. Yeah. So she had to run with, as the argument, so with her nigger man, pardon my expression, but that's how it was in our time. Mm-hmm. And come to Kingston where she had her children them there,
Okay, so you have brothers and sisters as well?
Oh yes, I've got a beautiful sister. Mm-hmm. And she's a nurse, a matron. Now she's retired, mm-hmm. but she's much older than myself. Mm-hmm. I've got 2 brothers, mm-hmm. one living in Jamaica, mm-hmm. and I've got a brother here, yes.
Okay. So what kind of age was it before you left the shores of Jamaica and came to?
Well, I was supposed to go to Greenwich Farm secondary school. That was about when I was 12. But my mum had to send for us. Okay. Because nobody could have managed me no more. So them thought, well, you have to go on with your mother. So I was supposed to go to Greenwich Farm School, but I didn't, I came to England instead.
Okay, all right. So in terms of coming into the faith of Rastafari, because I know even in the journey I've been on, I've seen your face in certain books and things, so I know that you have a long tradition in this faith, So tell me something, how did that faith first come to you? Was that in Jamaica or when you came to England?
No, well, when I come to England is a different. I'm a freedom fighter. Mm-hmm. Like the Black Panther.
Right.
And
you was part of that movement.
Yes, because I beat Teddy Boys. We bust Teddy Boys' ass.
I hear you. Yeah, man.
And I'm glad when them come and whistle outside my door. Because what they used to do to us, if our mum was coming home in the evening, them some little white boy used to and beat her up, kick her up and kick up your family. So from them start to kick up with family, we that was here from that time, suffering wogs and all that, we had to get together to fight for to defend our family. So we used to tell the boys, with them who come from and know the truth. You know.
Yeah,
so what going through that fighting for justice, you know, at that age, I became very militant. So I was a part of the flower people. I was a hippie. I was everything that was fighting against the system.
I understand.
Until I found my husband and I got married.
Revolutionary.
When I come into this faith, my mom said to me, right, she was the only person in Barbican who sewed for the Rastafarians. Nobody would touch them because them do this and them do that and they did this. But my mom, as I said, my mom is why I'm here. My mom is a woman who inspired me. Because when I said I wanted to be a Rastafarian, she used to say to me, "Are righteous people, them people."
And what was your mom's name?
My mom's name was Beatrice Ramnora Singh. We're from the family of sheiks.
Okay. All right.
It's her birthday on the 17th of October too, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So she was a Danite.
A Danite, all right.
Yeah.
So she embraced the Rastafari.
Well, yes, from that time,
sense,
by sewing for them, because, you know, Rastas in them time wore gowns and everything like that. And Mum would, the only one that would sew for them, nobody would even, you know, because them is, you know, them used to class in them days.
Yeah,
I don't have to really repeat it now, we don't know.
Yeah, true.
Within myself, from a barn, I know, say, His Majesty called me. But through my husband, taking me to New York City, where I used to live, you know, it's like His Majesty now come straight from me now, and call me. And why I said His Majesty called me, because we had the Ethiopian Orthodox Church was there. I lived in the Bronx. So I was invited on 23rd of July to come to His Majesty, on His Majesty's birthday, to come to the church. And I have another incident, right, that happened. Because my husband took me to Jamaica, and my husband come from Rumlane, and I saw some, this is very important, this is why I'm giving you this story. It's like my husband, he wasn't he didn't really respect His Imperial Majesty as much as what I've learned over the years to do. It was like naive, you know, Rasta and what was classed as Rastas are, right? So he had that kind of terminology about Rastas. So he taught that to me. So when I went to Jamaica, I was on Rumlane corner, and this brethren say something, and through my big mouth now, I said something of what my husband said. And it was like His Majesty, it's like the strength and the power that the Rastafarians had at that time when I was so young, right? Really, you know, it was a great revelation. So when I went back to New York City where we were living, after going so much tribby, and Father still pulling me out of the tribby, you know, it's like I saw this brethren making a shield, Brother Lorenzo. It's just guide me now and lead me in the right way now, you know. So I met Brother Lorenzo, and he was making a shield. And I said to him, he was a handsome young man and everything, knowing me. So I said to him, greetings and that to the brethren and that. And I said, and what are you making? Him say, I'm making His Majesty's a shield for His Majesty. So when him say His Majesty, remember what happened to me at Kingston when I said it to the brethren, and the tribulation where licked me and my husband, and he says, His Majesty pulled me out of that. So I want to know more about this man. So him say, well, the Orthodox church is at up at the top of the road, and so we used to go around to his house, and you know, and him used to open the Bible, and him used to show us that we're from the house of Judah. And he used to read all different parts of the Bible and taught us, you know, from the Bible. So this is the teaching that I got till after a year of teaching. I got baptized, and my name is Tegesta Selassie, you know. And it was I was about 34. I still got the baptism certificate. That's why I said I always have proof, Rasta.
So you baptized in Jamaica?
No, in New York.
All right. Okay.
No, my husband used to travel a lot, my first husband. Used to travel all over and him always carry him darling wife with him. So we were always traveling, leaving the children them here with him mother, with my mother, you know.
So when you was a part of the Orthodox faith at that time, was the EWF involved as well?
Well, we never know about no EWF, you know. Because what I was told, right, that His Majesty came to set up the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. He went to Trinidad in 1953, and the Trinidadians them took on the liberty of setting up the Orthodox Church. But you see the problem that happened to Rastas from that time is that we're all fighting against the man called Jesus, and Jesus or Jesus, Isos, Emmanuel, is a tall black man with locks. This is proven.
Yeah.
But the lie from, as what I said, wherever righteousness is seated, Satan is seated there. So from that, him never gonna allow us to know the truth, and him still don't want us to know the truth. So this is why the Orthodox Church, right here, that was supposed to be a powerhouse for the Rastafarians. After the service, this is how it was in America, we used to go out and we chant Naya Bingham, we drop, because what really amazed me, I saw this lady, this very elderly lady, and the way that lady danced Naya Bingham at that age, because she was well up in age, and I said the spirit's a very powerful thing. But as I said, Satan always mash up things, because when the church was set up here after coming back here, and they saw the Rastas coming together, they mash it up again. And then with the Monday, they see that the locks was like Christ, that we were Christ-like people. Them say you can't come in at the church, you know, and them start order them to cut their locks. A lot of people run, but Chumi's a warrior from that time. Because when the Abba said them for run, me come in front of the Abba, dressed in a red, green and gold from top to bottom. And him see me pass, and me want him tell me if I cut where me have. And him said, Grace, Sister Tegesta, get some grace, Sister Tegesta. So him couldn't really bother with me. It's if you's a weak heart. His Majesty fight is not a weak heart fight. You have to be strong, right?
Because from what I can remember of the history of the Orthodox Church in England at that time, when it first came, there was 700 and odd dreadlocks Rastafarians going to the church. I believe it was based in Acton, West London at the time.
Well, I know when I came over here, they were in Denby Road. Right. Yes, because you see, after when the Rastaman realized, right, that the church was our powerhouse, they asked His Majesty to establish it in Jamaica, which he established it in Jamaica at Maxwell Avenue. I've been there.
Abba Yisak, was it?
It was Abba Mandefra.
Okay.
Right? Have you heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, you know Exorcist.
Exorcist?
You know the film?
The
Yes.
film?
Yes. It's a true thing, you know. Because they invited him to come and do the Exorcist and get the devil out of that person down there. And the Rasta man said him shouldn't go and delve. But when he did that, him show you how powerful we are. So know anything we build up, right? Always know so Satan coming to do it. So you have to stay strong, Rasta, and know so weak heart for vank out our business.
So I can hear quite strongly there that the Orthodox faith, from your point of view, is still relevant in this time.
It's right unto the end. But we've got we got. Let's talk about the Orthodox faith.
Yeah, man.
His Majesty. It's like His Majesty allow us to be a part of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Because Jamaica, we don't have a Jamaican Orthodox Church, you know. We have the White Man Church, we have the Presbyterian, the Baptist, the Pentecostal, this is all from the White Man religion, you know, and the White Man philosophy and the White Man way of life in it. The Orthodox faith now is a different faith.
Indigenous to Africa.
Yes, and the way even the days of our Christmas, our calendar, we're 70 years behind.
In front, actually.
Well, but everything Babylon going to say we is behind, so them say we're behind. So, but we're 70 years. So when the judgment go for them, they're going to be for them first.
Yes.
We got them in front. and stayed here. Yes, you know.
You were saying about the Orthodox faith. Let's speak about that for a while. Tell us your perspective on it.
Well, as I said before, the Orthodox Church is our powerhouse. It's church and state. So we are honored that His Majesty let us be engrafted into the Ethiopian. It's like we are honored to be a part of that house, of that powerhouse.
Okay, so in terms of that powerhouse then, explain to us from your perspective, why is it a powerhouse then?
You see, it's church and everything. Everything is run by the church and it's run by the state. It's called church and state, right? And why? It's because you learn to pray. You learn not only to pray, you learn of the mysteries of life. You learn how to heal yourself. You learn how to share yourself. It's like the Bible becomes the Bible's open up. You see, even the Bible, it's a black man book, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like you learn to read the Bible. And as what I said, it's a black man. Everything inside of it is about the black people. And the black people and other people too. Because as I said, we were first. So true that everything's about us. From the beginning, in Genesis, him talk about Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So we were here first.
And then there's a countless books and that's within the Orthodox faith. The Kerbanegas, the Fetanegas, the mysteries of heaven and earth, the book of life,
Enoch,
book of Enoch,
the sayings of the desert fathers. You know, there's other great books that. Let me tell you something. This world, you know, our earth here, you know, it's very, very old, and you have wise elders that are still here. That's coming through from that time to come to gather us together, learn of one liberty. Now, as I said, we got 3 Orthodox church here.
So there were 3 churches. Just remind.
Well, I just remember there's 4.
All right. Okay.
Because we have one in Battersea. But that one's attended by a lot of Ethiopians.
So that is the indigenous. They delivered the liturgy in Amharic there.
In Amharic, yes.
All right.
And you have a lot of Jamaicans who study the Amharic, and they, you know, like Seymour and other people to the teeth. So they, you know, they go there to that church too.
Is that church baptizing members of the Caribbean Rasta community?
Well, I don't know, because through the Amharic language, I'm not really a member of that church. I just, on an occasional visit, I do. I know in our church, we baptized.
Yeah.
I come from the one from Sussex Garden.
Sussex Garden.
Yeah, in the Paddington.
West London, yeah.
In Paddington. And our Abba, he baptized you. If you're serious and you really come to praise the true and living God, then I don't see no means why I won't baptize you.
And as I understand it, there's no obstacle if you have locks now either.
Oh no. And I tell you something too, as after the service, we sing Nyabing, because I said to him, this is how we used to do it in our church in America. And we sing Nyabing song and beat, sometimes we beat up Babylon, Dirty Bab. And him don't say, because you see, see the art of what Orthodoxy is like the fact them offering up thanks for you. It's like you say to the Father, because the Father said, earth is my footstool. Father God, thank you. And bless my people. The first church was started by 3 stones when Moses put 3 stones down to pray and asked the Father to come down. And he was the only one that saw him. The other people that saw Father when he walked on earth. Now we're so honorable, because we said this is a generation that seek our face, O Jah. And we can see His Majesty in the church in Ethiopia. There's a seat there where His Majesty sit in the church. He goes to church every day. It's a powerhouse.
Yes.
Now the Nyabing, right? This is a warrior queen. And it's its own set liberty. There's nothing wrong with it, because I love Nyabing.
No.
Because Nyabing with us with the strength. But what we in America, the Nyabing was in the next was the other after.
Yeah.
So what we've done, we've divided church and state.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, because I know that sometimes this comes up in reasons and conversations, right? For the staunch Nyabing Idrins who resist the Orthodox Church, what would you say about that?
I mean, the churchical order is your spiritual functioning of your the old self, your strength. Like, you know, like the powers of you, awakening the powers inside of you. Now the Nyabingi order now is dead to black and white and to oppressors. Now these teach my hands to make war. So every time you lick the drums and that, it's like spiritually, it's like you're learning to make war. Because this. So it's a combined revelation of all us as Orthodox and Nyabingis. We're one, but we're divided through ignorance, right? Because some people say, well, boy, me and Nyabingi, me don't do this, and him gone him own way. And Orthodox man, him can't come at heaven because he's only Orthodox man a come at heaven. And that's all a load of bows. It's righteousness His Majesty look for, because His Majesty know who we are when Him call it. Because His Majesty call us, you know, when them call you from the Nyabingi order, or Him call you from the
Orthodox,
Orthodox order. It's two children here. We make one when we come together. Because many member children from the Orthodox Church, we go and keep Nyabingi. And when we keep Nyabingi, people say, boy, Nyabingi is sweet. Like the strength, the power. Because it's one order. You know, remember, what is the Nyabingi? Dead to black and white oppressors. So you learn how to have, see, now, this is why we are not united. Because what His Majesty give us to unite us, right? We don't want it at all. Look at the Ethiopians. They just come over here. And you know how much churches they bought for themselves. You know how much little things that strength move out them have this. It's true, they've got a powerhouse. We say we don't want to go in the Presbyterian powerhouse. We don't want to go in the Catholic powerhouse. So His Majesty giving us our own powerhouse, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
Alright, so would you say that at this time the unifying factor is the Orthodox faith? We should rally around the Orthodox faith to become united as one body?
But that is so tough to go, isn't it?
Alright.
We rally. You see the leaders, well, as I said, the leaders of the Nyabingi is like within themselves. It's back home, but a lot, as I said, the Nyabingi really have a lot of brethren who go to Nyabingi, who is part of the church also. Like myself, Sister Livet, we're part, even Keith, him name take climbing at. We beat the drum, everybody know Elder Keith. And he's a part of the church too. His Majesty put his servants there, you know.
So would you encourage young Rastas, princes and lionesses to come into this Orthodox faith and accept the baptism?
Yeah, you see, well, yeah, I would invite them to come in, and come in with an open heart, that you know, and you know what is baptism. You see, when we say baptism, right, the Father said, after you're baptized, I'm going to come to baptize you with fire. So when you get your cleansing of yourself, years move on, then you get baptized with, it don't just done, but just first have to come around and wash yourself. Because even Father himself come on earth and wash himself. And I must say to an all, as say the baptism, I was listening to Chief Akomba by this is the Galaxy man, and they made him a chief. But before they made him a chief, they took him to a place and took off every piece of his clothes and baptized him. But they didn't call it baptism. It's like it was an initiation to being a chief. So you have to come wash under that vibes.
Well, the other important aspect of it also is you get a name, an Ethiopian name, right?
Yes.
And an Ethiopian name have a meaning.
Yes.
What does your name mean?
Well, my patience, it's a virtue.
Patience. The word baptism, what does that mean?
You see, it's a white man word, you know. And I'm quite sure that is why we don't like it. You know. Because I've been baptized. I remember them came to a country and them move away a little place. And them dip me under it, I've been baptized. when I went to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, I was also baptized. So anyway, baptism is, and them say, well, is a good for me and better for me. Because it's a way of life that we have to go through to. Maybe when we reach, when Jah ready for it, him turn on up, you know, him clean we all up, baptize we all. We don't know, but the way the Orthodox Church come in now, right, is only one church. It's only two churches that will accept Rastas. Because we're going with a philosophy, you have to tell me say Selassie is God. And if you don't tell me say Selassie is God, and if you have some white woman picture for Mary and that, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not going to come along with it. So it's like we have a problem with these things.
Right. And you think that's not appropriate?
Yeah, but you see the joke, right? When His Majesty came and established the church from 1953 and sent it to Trinidad, if the elders them in Jamaica never fight against it, all these questions that we're asking now, right, would have been revealed to us. So this is why we're in such a dilemma through the faults what the elders done, you know. Because I'm quite sure a lot of members in Trinidad have been baptized and move on into other things. Because it's like a ritual of what you've got to do. You've got to be baptized.
Yeah, well,
don't call it baptized, because as what I said, as what I remembered with Chief Akombabai, he went to Sierra Leone, and he was initiated through water. So you have to have that, as what you say, rite of passage, that somebody performed that duty for you, for come true. You see, Enoch, right? Enoch was a man that saw God. But before he could go to see Father, he had to shed the physical skin and moved into an
ascending spirit.
So it's like when you've washed yourself clean, right? It's like spiritually you've shed that fleshy and move into your spiritual self.
Yes, because I know the icons have been a problem in the past.
For many, yes. A lot of people. Also the name, not only the icons, with them calling the name of Jesus. Yes, it's like well, which one would you? Well, this is my interpretation of it. You know, this is how I see it. You know, and what I've learned from that. If you don't paint black icons, you're going to get black ones. Now, in this brethren, he paints black icons, and in the church in Clapton, there's a black Madonna. There's a lot more saints than that, and black saints. Yeah. Right? Now the word Jesus now. Yeah. No, but you see, let me move on now. When I went to Ethiopia now, and I looked in Ethiopia, I went up to this orphanage, and it was a picture of this white Mary. And I said to the sister, and she had Empress Menen there, and she said, look, let's go and take a picture against this white Mary. And what happened, it's like, when she took the picture, when I looked at the picture to see the picture blear, you see, it's like the lies, right, that they've told from that time about our black people. The Bible is about black people. Christ is a black man. Jesus, Emmanuel, whoever him is a black man, right? They're all black people. So when everywhere you go, the lions are there.
Well, because we know that the history of Ethiopia, a lot of the Roman Catholics came there and were introducing these Caucasian images. Because I know that when I went to a monastery in Lake Tana, I met a priest. I went to the priest's gates, and he called us inside, pulled back a sheet, and started pulling out books with the black images of Christ in them. Yeah. So these things are there in Ethiopia, but as you say, they will come and sit amongst us and perpetrate these things, and we don't look past that sometimes.
Yes, my brethren. So if you look past all, well, you see, looking past it is knowing that chug, where's Satan? and you start to do it for yourself. So this is why in the church in Clacton, the brethren, true, I'm not a member of it, I do go over there, and I do admire his art, it's beautiful, you know. I think his name is Tesfa, and Tesfa has done some beautiful artwork. It's really, really beautiful. So, you know, so we've started. We started to do our own. As with Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, all great freedom fighters, we've got to do things for ourselves. Unless we do things for ourselves, then we'll be always expecting the white man and accepting what the white man give us. As we will call him, Wazungu. We will always want what Wazungu have and want to accept what Wazungu give. But with the baptism now, or whatever Wazungu call it, we all Africa do it. Whether in Africa they're doing the same thing under for special leaders. You know, this cleansing is there. So you all Africa cleanse, whether they're Nyabingi, 12 tribe, Orthodox, 12 tribe, whether EWF, we all going to have to do that. You have to accept yourself. I mean, not fight against nobody, because you do find beautiful people within it. But that rite of passage, you have to do it, because not only say that, because Enoch, he had to do it, and he showed you that this what if you read the book of Enoch, why you go through this rite of passage, because it's like the flesh within you. It's like you kill the flesh and the spirit becomes alive, you know.
Yes.
So it's the life of the spirit.
Okay.
And the gift. Because you get many gifts after.
Yes, yes. So let me ask you what seems like a very personal question now. Since baptism and you going to church, do you feel a renewal or a spiritual event when you go to church? Or is it like just a kind of routine that you have now because of the faith?
Well, my church is once a month. I don't go to church every week like our Abba keeps service once a month. And then with the once a month, it's like you've already prepared yourself. Because we have different fasting days. We have different feasting days. We have different... It's like you start to live how His Majesty lived. So you prepare yourself to take part. And in one of our liturgy, as the house of Benjamite said, if you come into this house, because him said, as Paul said, and Paul is a Benjamite, him said, curse be unto you. So, and Abba, if all of them read it, Abba read it out, and if you understand, so if you're not right, don't bother come.
Yes, Rastafari culture of marijuana, the herbs, the sacrament. How do you view that? Is it something that you feel that is very necessary, or it's a choice thing, or?
I think it would be a choice.
Okay.
But what I know about the herbs, right? When I was young and started to smoke herbs, my mum used to say to me that herbs, it's, as I said, my mum's a Rastafarian. She said in India, what they did is like it's a wise herbs, and then they dug a pit, and they threw all the good herbs, harvest of the good herbs, and then they sit around the herbs, the brethrens, and then take it from there. And the women were out there cooking, and they weren't allowed to touch the herbs because it was only for men. So when my mum told me that, so I do know that the herb is a special thing. So I said to her, Mommy, in this time here, women go and smoke them herb too. But this is modern society time, so we start to smoke it. But what I don't like to see as history, I used to do it when I was young, As soon as she reach a place, she start to build up her big head spliff, and she catch and pose with a spliff. A spliff wasn't really used, and under that it's a spiritual, it's another special things. As what my mum said, women didn't do it. It was only the wise men of the tribe used to go and sit. Now the herbs is also written in the book of Ezekiel that it was found on Solomon's grave. So the herbs is a very sacred thing. It's a very special thing. And you can, if you have a mind, an evil mind, and you smoke herbs, it's like you go and do all things because it's not an evil thing.
So it brings out whatever is
it
in
brings
you.
out whatever is inside of you, the goodness and the evil. So this is why a lot of people from back home say him not to touch the ganja, because when him touch ganja, him go on with this and him go on with that. Which a Rasta man now, him take him herbs and him sit down and him go look for a guitar.
Meditation.
And him go, yes. Because when me smoke my herbs and that, these are the works what me bring out.
You're creative.
So I becomes very, very creative. Or I read, you know, it's a special thing. Now, when I abuse it now, right, you know, then it really...
What would you define abuse of herbs as?
Well, like me buy a 20 pound jar and every minute me go and lick me a spliff and I just a bill of spliff and that. And I burn it out and I run go look another 20 pound jar and then I buy a 30 pound jar and I lick off that again. And
in its pure state, the use of the herb is like a sacrament and a communion.
well, I wouldn't call it a
outside.
sacrament, right?
No.
But no, I wouldn't call it a sacrament.
Right.
But I would call it a gift from the Father, where the Father gives to I another gift, the herbs for the healing of the nation. So it's another form of my healing.
And it's not just smoking either, it's for boiling.
It can be,
tea
it's
and
for the healing of the nation. That's why the Father gives us. And it's written also, a bruised reed should you not bend until you can conquer. Because if you take a spliff and you can't conquer the vibes inside of you, you can go all over, you know, you don't know, you can go, you know, I don't know, you can go mad. But you have to conquer the vibes. Cause we're not talking about some little play. No, we are smoke some little play herbs. We're talking about proper, good, decent, draw a sense of meaning, or even time with good herbs.
Because it opens your spiritual.
Because it opens the door to your spiritual. Are you with me?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Them look at PR things that and all the new one where them call punk and all them things. They're just ruining. But this is how Satan is. Everything that we have that's good, right? Him switch it round and mash it up. Christ black, him paint him white. I tell you the other day I was watching Samson and Delilah and some white people. We know Samson was a strong Rasta man.
And Nazarite. Yeah, man.
But now you look at Samson, him white. He's a white boy and a white girl. My generation, when they hear about Samson and the Bible, when the Bible will be there still, them guys say, oh, them don't know him, I don't know that. So everything that we have, Rasta, it's been taken away from us.
You mentioned Samson now, from what the research has, Samson was a Nazarite, and there was many characters in the Bible who had the Nazarite, but which mean the keeping of locks.
Yes.
Directly.
Yes.
What do you think about that in terms of the sacredness of the locks?
The locks, you see the locks that come from before, because when Samson is before the New Testament, you know. So it come after.
Yeah, because we know that, alright, you mentioned New Testament, we know that Christ was a dreadlocks. Yes. We have images of that.
We have pictures,
and
proof
we know
of that.
All the disciples were dreadlocks.
Yes.
And we know that he belonged to a sect called the Essenes.
Yes.
Right? Who were even pre-New Testament. And they were all locks people as well. Who
Yes.
don't eat meat, don't take strong drink, and live an idle life. So we know that that's an ancient tradition, even pre-Bible.
And when I started on the road, as a Rastafarian, I would call myself a Nazarite because I ate out a calabash, I ate lush and dumpling. I wouldn't eat no fish or nothing, just peas and greens. This is when I was bringing my children with me, as when I just started from New York. I never watched no television. I didn't have no grapes, no pumpkin, no chocho, nothing like that. Because all these from the food from the vine, food from. But when after a while, right? After you go 7 years of purification and you open your mind, it's like these things, as I said, you've moved for another level.
So you choose what is important.
What is important to you
at the time, yeah, man.
But you don't forget where you, so I don't go and drink up and wine, you know, I eat up no whole heap of meat and you know, like that. I know how to discipline myself. Because I live by a liberty of Orthodox. Listen, and Orthodox, they fast 365 days of the year. Orthodox people, they fast 240 days. So they're mainly on a fasting. And when you fast, you don't eat nothing from the animals. When you feast, you do feast.
And I know that fasting elevates your meditation spiritually as well. That's what the fasting is for as well, right?
And it's to help you. You see, we haven't got much strength, because when one fast and we're all fasting together as one body, we can heal. We don't need to run go to the Babylon doctors, because we have our healers amongst us. We don't need, we can counsel our people. We're very rich.
Let's move on to another aspect of your liberty and your life's journey. In terms of your movements out of England, traveling to Africa. Tell us more about that. I believe you've been to South Africa and also Ethiopia.
I went Trinidad. I went South Africa. I went to Ethiopia several times.
Was that based on the works you were doing at the time, or just to go and see these places to see what's really going on?
Well, at first, right, I went to see what was going on. The first time I went to Ethiopia, I realized that, we went up to this hospital, the Shashaman. What happened is like Muta was coming in, and they had an accident on the way. So they had to, the accident was so, members, a lot of the members that were coming in got injured. So they had to take them to the hospital. But up at the hospital that they had to take them, they had leprosy in one wards up there. They had casualties. They had everything. So nobody wanted to go up there from them years, so leprosy up there. So myself, Mama Bar, and Sister Baby I, God rest them soul. Mama Bar, she make porridge, and Baby I and myself went up there to help them, because nobody Muta never want to go. Him have places to go, people to see him, no have no time for that. And is everybody will kill off themselves because him come, But never mind. So when we went to the hospital, as I said, nobody wanted to go. So as I say, His Majesty, well, if you want, give me leprosy, I'm going. So myself, Baby, I went up there. And when we saw the condition of the place, right, I decided that I'm going to do something for help the people. So I started a project.
Was it the local 33 or the 12 tribes nurses project?
No, I started local 33 project. I can't, what did I call? I can't remember what I call it now, but it's there. The
Housing cooperative?
No, it was called the awareness. And I asked the 12 tribe, a lady from the 12 tribe, to assist me to fundraise. And I did quite a lot of fundraising with various different parts of the community. Galaxy, I've invited them to come and fundraise. And as what I said, with fundraising, I raised over 1,000 kilos of medical and domestic things through fundraising. And this other Sister Zaditu. So it was myself, Sister Zaditu, and Sister Bev Benji, 3 of us.
What era was that? What year roughly was that?
It's there. I think that happened about 204 or 202.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then you used that vehicle to begin to send things across to Shashamane?
No.
Were you building a hospital there at one point?
No. What we wanted to do, we wanted to repair the septic tank, because you see, in the hospital when we went there, the toilets there, they were like, it was really like just a hole, very filthy hole. The septic tanks, we wanted to build new septic tanks, structure a new toilet for proper toilet system, but they wanted over 200,000 pounds for the renovation. Tegesta gave us that estimate for the renovation of the property, and boy, let me tell you, that was a hard mountain to climb. So we ended up getting over 7,000, and we bought domestic things there, gloves. As I said, I've got it all, documented, and gave it to the hospital. But that is not the first time. That's not the first time that I really did anything in Africa for the community. When I started Local 33, in 1980, right? It started about, it's like the white people, our Wazungu then, used to kick tramps and, you know, set them on fire. So when I come back from New York City and see what was going on, I decided to help. And I started an organization called Unity One.
Right.
And when we saw the problems that were going on, as what they said, you have to register yourself. So I found a nice name to register my organization, and I registered myself as Local 33 Church Triumphant, like the Church Triumph, you know.
Yeah.
And this is how I start charitable work. And so true it's about the tramps and how Wazungu used to treat their poor people. It's like we did every His Majesty birthday. Yeah. Well, we did houses. I got some houses. I squatted some houses, literally.
Because I remember that I was operating from a property in Stockwell at the time.
Yes,
SW.
So I squatted 3 properties. One in Stockwell, one in Lowden Road, and one at Medora Road. And as I said, I gave them to people who had mental health problems. These were my clientele. Right. People who were coming from prisons, or people who just didn't have anywhere to live, man or woman. I wasn't partial, black or white, because I have one house that was Irish lived there, English lived there, and another house with Africans, because we all suffer. This is why I don't have a color bar really when I work with Local 33, because it's poor people. So Local 33 was set up for poor people from all different color or creed, although we were profitable for our people, because it was started for our people.
So it was under the auspices of Local 33 that you were sending things across to Shashamane?
Well, as I said, not only Shashamane, we sent to South Africa, we sent to Kenya, and other places.
Okay, and it was through that work you visited these other places, right?
Well, I only visited South Africa. Yes, I visited South Africa. Yes, but I liked Shashamane, so I did more work in Shashamane than I did I've sent to Jamaica too. Also, Ben Susan, you know, and I also did it here too, because during the cold winter seasons, a lot of people die off without. So in October, Local 33 would go out and look blankets and tin food, and also donate it to other charities who are like Crisis at Christmas and other who are dealing with these people sleeping rough on the streets. Because as what Christ said, he is with the poor. So anywhere the poor is, this is where Local 33 would have placed themselves to be. So I couldn't pinpoint myself, said I worked here, because it's where Christ sent me.
Now, was it during the time of Local 33 as well that you used to put on these events in honor of Lady Mary?
Yes. Well, what I did is like, we were quite respected by it, so we applied for grants to do things to honor His Majesty's birthday, take fruits to the hospital, honoring of the Blessed Virgin, and Miriam, and Queen Makeda, and all these great queens, as a tribute to my king on his day.
Yes, because I know there was events that even I attended where you'd honor these, as you say, the Queen of Sheba.
Yes.
And there would be reasonings and even certain drama.
Yes, we had drama, because I do drama,
And there was reverence paid to the Ethiopian Orthodox faith as well during those gatherings.
Yes, because the only one that the Orthodox faith never accepted or had a celebration was on His Majesty's birthday. So on that day, on His Majesty's birthday, I would take fruits to prisons, mental hospitals, or people sleep in homeless shelters, as a part of honoring my King's Day.
Right. All right. So in terms of your future vision, what kind of programs or projects do you have either in the pipeline or you have it in your midst to be building upon moving forward?
Well, you see with me, me just waiting to grow my wings to fly away and leave dirty Babylon.
አባታችን በሰማዮች ላይ ያለህ ተለይቶ መስከን ክቡር ስምህ መንግሥትህን የምንፈልጋት ከጥንቱ በልጅነት ትምጣት ሰጠና ቤቱን ፈቃድህም እንዲደረግ ይሁን በሰማይም ሙተን ተነስተን ከዳይን እንድንኖር ምስጋና ምግብ ሆኖን